In this video, I'm going to show you the exact 3-step muscle building method that helped me build muscle without making the same mistakes that I did when I first started training. I remember when I first started training and I was pretty much new, right? And I didn't know anything besides the good old 4x12 on every exercise method, because again, that's just what I just learned and used as a beginner. So I applied the 4 sets by 12 reps on every exercise that I did, and I was able to make some gains from it, but it came to a point where it was like it wouldn't work anymore, right? So I was making gains and it just completely plateaued, and I kept on plateauing, and I didn't stop plateauing for like a good year. I was lifting the exact same weights and nothing was going up, nothing was getting better, and everything just felt darker. I was putting so much effort into building my dream physique and nothing changed. My biceps weren't getting bigger, my chest wasn't getting bigger, I wasn't getting stronger in the gym. I was just overall, nothing was happening to my body, like positively. Like I wasn't getting bigger, I wasn't getting stronger, nothing changed. I just felt so lost. But then I stumbled across a guy he's a weighted calisthenics athlete, right? And the way that he trains, his like training philosophies changed the way that I'm training today. You see, he advocates for doing HIT, and if you don't know what that is, it's high intensity training. And at first, I was kind of skeptical at first, right? Because, you know, these guys over here, like, when I first started training, were telling me, don't go to failure in every set. Don't do that. Stay shy away of 3 to 4 reps of failure. Well, something like that, right? And they're probably right if you were doing 4 sets per exercise. But that's not what he did. He did 2 sets at most per exercises, and he just went to failure. That's all he did. He didn't go to 4 sets. He just did 2 and went to failure. So I took the man's advice and I told myself if it didn't work, I was just gonna find another method. But it did work. I took his method, I took his advice and implemented them for myself, and I started seeing results. I was smashing through my PRs. I was breaking through my plateaus. My biceps were getting bigger. My shoulders were getting bigger. My chest was getting bigger. Everything started to go up when I started taking this guy's advice, you know, because back then I was just doing 4 sets of 12 and barely touching failure, but even then. But now I'm just doing 2 sets, 2 failure, and that's it. My biceps are getting bigger, everything in my body is getting bigger, and I feel way more motivated to come to the gym and just smash PRs. So if you can't build muscle, then what's the point of going to the gym? Now, I know there's a gazillion other reasons to go to the gym, but that's not why you're watching this video. You're watching this video to build muscle. And if you can't build muscle, what's the point? So, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna lift the same weights and expect or pray something happens? And if you can't gain muscle, you can't build your dream physique. And then you can't be proud of yourself anymore or gain the respect of others, and especially yourself. So the 3-step framework is actually pretty simple. It's strength, diet, and sleep. Your diet and sleep, they're pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go too much into them, but your strength. The way that you train is very important when it comes to building muscle. So the way that this guy made me train, in which case I just told you, is that 2 sets, 2 failure, that's it. But what I didn't mention was he rested for like 5 to 7 minutes per set, and which that's pretty normal. You know, some people rest like 3 minutes doing 4 sets. It averages. It's normal. The reason why he rests so much is because he's going to failure. He's pushing all the way through. Like if he had like a gun to his head and he couldn't do another rep, that is failure. And that's what you need to be doing if you want to build muscle, because again, in order to get bigger, you need to get stronger. And by getting stronger, you do progressive overload, right? So let's say last week you did 135 on bench press. That means this week you want to go for 145 pounds on bench press. For the rep ranges, just keep it 8 to 15. That's like the standard hypertrophy range. From what has worked for me, for your pulling exercises, since they're generally a lot harder, keep them in the 8 to 12 range, and your pushing exercises in the 10 to 15 range. This is just what works for me. If you want, you could like mix the numbers up or see what works for you. But moving on, we have the diet and the sleep. Now, again, it should be pretty self-explanatory of what you should be eating. Like, again, you know to eat 1 gram or 0.8 grams per pound per gram or per pound of protein. And your sleep, you need 8 hours of sleep. But there are some like small little tricks that you could do on either side. So for your diet, right, you want to be bulking, you want to be in a calorie surplus. One easy way to do that is just by eating more fats, like the macronutrient fat, because they have 9 calories per 1 gram. So if you could just eat more fats, you can easily add 900 calories if you just ate 100 grams of fat. Like you got chicken thighs, ghee, eggs, avocados, but primarily it's gonna be your like main sources of fat is gonna come from chickens and meats. Now, to your sleep isn't too much. As long as you're getting 8 hours of sleep or maybe 7 hours of sleep, you should be fine. Just no phones before bed, that. But one thing I would try to do, if you don't do this already, is try to make your room a lot colder than it actually is, because it's easier to sleep in a colder room than it is in a hotter room. So just put it like 2 to 3, like, I don't know if you can do this. If not, just change your thermostat 2 to 3 degrees below room temperature. So for like in my house, right, we usually keep it around 72, and then at night we just set it to 69, and that just works for me and everyone else in my house. So for you, it could be different. So make your room a little colder. And 2, you need to put the blue light filter on your phone. And you can do this through the settings. Like, you can figure it out. Just go on YouTube, search some videos. You can either just put on blue light filter, or you can just put on grayscale. Personally, I put it on grayscale just so that nothing like stimulates me too much before bed, so I can just go to sleep easy. Now, this is going to be painful, and there are going to be times where you're not going to be able to train to failure all the way. But just think about that dream physique. The temporary pain of you training to failure consistently, resting a lot, eating clean, no junk food whatsoever, and sleeping right consistently on time every day is the thing that's between you right now and your dream physique.